All right, guys, we're back in live. I think. I hope. Technical difficulties. We know how that goes. And let's
Maybe,
click
maybe we're
this.
live.
Maybe if
Am
it
I in am
works.
I in the
Hold
real world?
on.
Am I in the spirit world right now? Or are we good to go?
Let me check my watch to see if I'm alive.
Yeah, see if you're
Yeah,
alive.
I got a heartbeat.
Hey, ask your watch if I'm alive too. That'd be good.
Siri.
Is Michael Lee alive?
Wait a second. I might not want to know the answer.
Am I living my best life right now?
I gotta turn this fan towards me. It's hotter than freaking Satan's armpit in here. Hold on.
Welcome to Georgia.
Yeah, right. It is 90 and 900 in hell today. So,
Oh,
oh, can
I'll
I
tell you
say
what.
hell on this podcast? I guess I
Yeah,
just
you
did.
can say anything you want on this podcast.
That now, be careful. Be very careful. Just saying.
Takes a lot to make us blush.
Yeah, it's it's everybody else you have to worry about. Well, all
Yeah.
right, we're back here on the outdoor drive with Michael Lee. How we doing, Mike?
Good guys. How are y'all?
Good. I appreciate you jumping on with us. I know it's hot down there, but it's hot here too. So you probably hear an AC in the background. It's like index of like 105. I feel as if you brought that nice warm weather up here to the north.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to make sure y'all got my full hunting camp experience on this podcast. Like we said before we hopped on here, I've been filling some protein feeders today, and they're 95 degrees and 100% humidity. So I only took 3 showers before the podcast. So it's cool.
And then another one when you walk to the couch from the shower, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably do another when I get through, just in case. But I got this old trusty floor fan kicking over here, blowing some AC, man. This house was built in like the 1950s, so I won't. I mean, I'm probably breathing asbestos while I'm doing this and dying a little bit, but my watch will tell me if I do. But um, with that being said, it's warm. Old house, bad insulation, but it's hunting camp, man, and that's what's like. These guys right here, that's what it's all about. Having a good time and shooting some good deer.
Putting in the good time here. It's June 20th, and you're down there in camp putting out protein feeders and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, typical social media hate that I get all the time. Like, oh, somebody, puts you in that stand and that deer walked out what time they said they were going to walk out, and you on a guided hunt and all this stuff. Well, in this case, I'm the guide. Like, 100%. I do the work. And when you see us hunting in Georgia, 99.9% of the time, that's our property, our work, our sweat, our blood. Everything you see for years is what we've done. Now we go to other states. I'm not gonna lie. I love a handheld hunt. When I go to
Mm.
mule deer hunting in Texas and my guys got one picked out, hey, this dude's gonna come out tomorrow afternoon. I'm gonna go perch up and shoot his ass. I promise you. And I'm gonna have a good time doing it.
I just don't understand why social media has been such a negativity on all of that. Like, what does it matter if you are? Like, what does it matter that you're in a stand and you hired a guide? Like, everybody else is going to do it.
Well, I think now and we're going down the social media wormhole already. So here we go. But I think there's genuinely some hardcore guys out there that I have respect for those guys that really do, like, they won't hunt over a feeder, they won't hunt over a food plot, and they, I mean, they play cowboys and Indians with the deer, and kill big deer. Good for you, man. Like, I have mad respect for the guys that do that, but I don't do that because I don't have to. Like, I
Mm.
mean, when Georgia here, we can hunt over feeders, we can plant food plots, we can sit in shooting houses with a rifle. I'm all about having fun, man. I don't have anything to prove to anybody. Like these are like that's Kevin does Backwoods Life with me. That's his buck right here. That's my buck right there. That's a Georgia deer. That's an Alabama deer. Those are fine bucks. Um, we killed them how we hunt. Okay, and that might be a food plot with a shooting house on it, or it might be a ladder stand in the woods with the feeder out there. I mean, it's all perfectly legal. We're having fun doing it. We're loving the outdoors. We're introducing more people to it. Friends and family and kids, and we're having a good time. That's what these haters need to concentrate on, is doing something to pass that tradition on. Like, however they hunt, good, bad, or ugly, or if we agree with it, disagree with it, they need to be worrying about the future of our sport. Get more people out there. Take a kid, take your buddy, let them shoot a doe, whatever, just to help, on the management side. just get people in the outdoors instead of sitting behind the keyboard and hating on what you guys do and what I do and how I shot a deer in a food plot, so I'm a piece of crap. I killed a turkey, not that where that deer's at, but behind our house back here. I A few years ago, like one of my best gobblers I've ever killed. I worked him off the roost. He gobbled. He flew down in this food plot, and he came running down the food plot. Left some hens to come to the decoys, and I shot this turkey with my 20 gauge. Just had a great time. Me and my dad are hunting together. Like it's a on video memory forever. And I got so much hate for shooting a turkey in a food plot
Come
over
on.
decoys, and I use decoys on top of that. That's my point. Is like screw those people. Like I don't care. Like you're not gonna upset me. I'm not gonna lose 1 minute of sleep that you're mad at me how that hunt went down. I 100% legal. I 100% did that on my own. I didn't have a guide. I scouted. I knew where that turkey was. Had trail camera pictures of him. I knew he was in there, so I went and hunted him, and he gobbled and strutted like a man, died like a man. So here we are. You know what I mean? Just that I don't understand the people that they're either so jealous or they have nothing better to do in life but to sit behind a keyboard or on their phone and just be miserable with their life to hate other people. That's just the way it is.
And it's kind of crazy because one of the things that I've realized in 7 8 years of doing this whole social media content creation podcast whatever, a lot of the hate comes from local people, and I don't know if it's like because they tried and they can't do it or they're afraid to do it or whatever the case may be, and it's upsetting because it's like, I had one time this dude was like, who are you to have a podcast? And it's like, I'm nobody, bro. Like, you want to have a podcast, man? You want to pay the money, do it, market, social media, whatever, then go ahead and do it, man. But don't hate on me because I'm doing it. Like, how are you going to tell me that I'm a piece of shit because I have a podcast? Like, what does it matter? Like, what does it bother you? Like, I don't know.
I'm not.
It's
I
disgusting.
mean, I'm. You're not hurting anybody with your life. What you're doing. If nothing else, you're adding value to other people's life that watch this and get entertained. And that's what we were talking about, the working class bow hunter guys. And that's one thing that we talked about when with those guys. When, on that episode was the right off the bat, we established that we're here for entertainment purposes. That's what I do. That's what you guys do. We're here to if somebody's stuck in a job they hate or a life they hate, and I'm not saying anybody should be, but like situations are what they are. But if you can watch what we do, listen to you guys, listen to this podcast, watch this podcast right now, and it take your mind off of that mortgage payment or have an illness in the family or whatever, let you escape from reality for a little while, be entertained, maybe laugh a little bit, cut up with us, enjoy what we do. That's what we do, man. Like we're here to help. We're not here to bring anybody down. We're here to add value. Whether you learn something from us or not, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably the worst role model in this world, in the totality of things, just because I'm just that. I mean, I don't care. But at the end of the day, I do appreciate the people that take value in the stuff that you guys create and put out and we put out. But to piggyback what you said, local people, I will say this about people in the South down here we're at. It's the other way here. I get more compliments from people in the South because they'll come up to me and say, "Man, I love to watch you guys hunt like in Georgia and stuff because you hunt like we do. Like we do the same thing. Like we
Hmm.
hunt the same style. Hunt the same areas. We get that a lot. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not a Midwest guy. I'm not a northern guy. I'm not a western guy. I've hunted those places and I've been successful, but I'm not gonna ever tell those guys how to do something. But you come to Georgia, like I can probably teach you a little bit.
Hmm. No, I totally agree with you, and that's one of the things. Like, I just when you're in your own space, like, guys can take from, not that anyone's going to come to North and no one's going to go to the South. Where do everyone want to go? They want to go to the Midwest, right? Like, so
Right. Right.
we're in no help there.
Yeah.
But if you're going to travel to one of those places, like we like to travel hunt, you like to travel hunt, and we could
Hmm.
teach you a little bit of things of where we come from and how we can kind of transcribe that into what you're doing in those places when you go there. But it's just the hatred, man. I don't understand it. Where guys like us in the podcast, we have X amount of people that watch us, listen to us, talk to us, ask us questions, just like they probably do to you,
Yeah.
and people will take that. But like, what have those haters done, or those keyboard warriors done for the we'll call it quote unquote the industry, or to
Mhm.
anybody else who's trying to learn? Like, social media has become such a batting cage where they just beat on each other one after one after one. Like somebody asks a question, if you're newer at turkey hunting and you're like, oh, how do you do a yelp? They'll tear them up. Like, what do you mean you don't know how to yelp? And you're gonna go
Yeah.
into the woods and not know how to yelp? And then it's like when you ask someone like yourself or me, I'll tell you how to do it. Tell you how to
Yeah.
take that time and do that and learn. And I'm not afraid to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, spot on, dude. Like, I mean, I look at it as I've been blessed to do this for as long as I have. Been blessed to go to states I never thought I would be able to hunt. You know, got trophies scattered from all over the country. And I'm not bragging. I'm just, I mean, it is what it is. After 20 years, like you get lucky. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and if I can pass that and help somebody else be successful, Pat, like like I got a message I got to get back to. A guy asked me about hunting in Nebraska. Like he drew an antelope tag and a deer tag, and he wants to know how to do that. I've never killed an antelope in Nebraska, so I'm gonna be like, man, I don't know, but I'm gonna try to get you some help. I'm gonna try to find somebody that does. Now I've killed deer out there, and I know how that goes. But you know what I mean? Like we are here for a reference. We're here to help, and I mean, like somebody asked me, like you said, somebody asked me how to do a Yelp. I'll tell you how I do it. I'm not gonna
Mm.
say that's the way to do it. I'm gonna tell you how I do it, and I get lucky. I mean, I've caught in a fair amount of turkeys over the years, but at the same time, I'll at least get you pointed in the right direction, and hopefully you'll take whatever you learn from you guys or me, and you'll be better than us. Like you'll hone it
Right.
even better, and
Yeah.
you can pass that on to somebody else. You know, that's what this is all about. Not worrying about like me putting that deer on the wall. Like, man, we need to be a community to help each other out and be a resource to say, hey guys, I want to hunt, Missouri, and I need some advice on where to go. And like oh, I know somebody here or there or whatever, and like we work together for everybody to be successful. But man, that selfishness, that envy, it's just a bad situation, and social media just pours gas on that fire.
Well, it's the same as the deer shaming aspect of it. Like, like you, like us. Like, man, it was funny. You had said it comes in gobbling like a man is going to be treated like one. Like, I live by that. Like, I'm telling you right now, I don't care. If you gobbling, you're dying. Like, no questions asked. Because there's times, hey, Lynn, I'll put up a hunting video of me shooting does. Like, I don't care, man. Like, it's fun to me. Like, I came back from Ohio a couple years ago. I had probably shot one of the biggest. I mean, talking at time, I thought it was Boone and Crockett, a couple inches shy of that. And I came home and there was a small like 110 chasing around a doe, and the doe came in front of me, and I smoked the doe. I mean, you're talking November 10th of November in the middle of the rut, and I shot the doe, and people were like, "Why'd you just do that?" And I go, "Cause I love killing. I love having fun. I enjoy it. Like it's not about
Mhm.
the horns. It's not. It was to prove a point that like." Bro, you don't need to be shooting giants. Like, what is it to? I mean, we all love shooting them.
You hit the nail on the head, man. It's about having fun. And I told somebody this, like, it's been a long time ago. I was sitting in a blind in Kansas one day, and Jared Lott, who he's a realtor over here now, he was big into filming a bunch of people back then, and Jared and I were sitting together. He was filming me in Kansas, and we just got talking about being in the industry for a while, and he's like, man, like how do you do it, and what's your mindset? And I had like an aha moment out there in the woods that day, because I mean, back when we first started, it was like pressure, pressure, pressure to shoot something, like get it on film, and because you have to make episodes and you have to keep everybody happy, you have to do this, you have to do that. And that day in Kansas, dude, I said, you know what, man? Sitting here with you right now, I've just kind of realized I don't care anymore. I said, if I'm not gonna have fun, I'm quitting. Like the day I go and I'm like, this is miserable, I'm quitting. I don't care where I'm at in life, success level, anything. I was like, if I'm not having fun in the outdoors and hunting and fishing and doing what I really core love to do, like I was when I was a little kid, I said, I'm gonna quit. And then I was sitting that blind that day, and I was like, man, I don't even care if I kill a deer on this trip anymore. Like I was just at peace, man. Like I don't even know. It just came over me, and like me and him, like we really broke down a little bit in that blind, And he was like, man, I get it. Like I feel what you're saying. And dude, it wasn't 15 minutes later, a freaking mature buck walked out, and I drilled him. And since that day, I have just not really. I care and I work at it, but I don't let it get to me anymore. I just go out. I accept it. What happens is good, bad, or ugly. And dude, I've been 100 times more successful with that mentality. To like, if I kill a turkey today, I'm supposed to kill a turkey today. I kill a
Yeah.
deer today. I'm supposed to kill a deer today, and I just go let it happen. I work hard. I've honed my skills, and with all that being said, I mean, really, like since that day, like I turned a corner in this thing, man. It's crazy, and I'm a big nerd. I keep spreadsheets like on everything I've killed. I've got all my deer, all my turkeys, elk, antelope, mule deer, and I started that at a young age just to gather data when I was hunting like our family farm and in our hunting leases to know when the best days to go hunting was because I was working full time, not have a lot of vacation. I'm like I want to pick the best days to my vacation days. Like I want to pick my 2 weeks of vacation or whatever and go hunting the right days. But I just kept doing that afterwards. And, after when I started like really got into the outdoor industry as a career and people pick on me all the time because I'm just the spreadsheet guy. But like you would see the stats on that spreadsheet, like from that day in Kansas, go, damn, this dude like he just figured it out somewhere along the
Figure
way,
it out.
But
This is before they had apps that did it for you like we do now with the algorithms and
yeah,
all that stuff.
I don't know,
Yeah,
like what hunt stand, deer cast, all
yeah,
those. Yeah, man, this is like we were like chisel and stone. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Back when I first started hunting.
It's
Yeah.
just so funny to like look how far we've come in such a short amount of time because like I can remember being a kid and like I mean, you can buy maps now, but like I used to like go on like this website and you could like print out this like little portion of a map, and I would
Yeah.
print out like 20 of them, and I'm like cutting
Yeah.
them out, taping them together to make my own
Yep.
map, and like drawing on it in pen. And it's like, dude, that was not long ago. And now I just open up my phone and my map's right there, and I'm dropping pins on my map. And I was like, dude, it wasn't long ago. Like times were tough, man. I had maps scotch taped together with a with a ballpoint pen, you know.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah,
Same way. Like we would piece together hunting club maps just to mark where our stands were, so people
yeah.
could look and say, "Okay, I know where that's
Yeah.
at."
And then
But
you're
it's funny
arguing,
you
no,
brought.
that ain't where it's at. It's over here. I'm like, I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it's right here.
no, no, dude, it's on the other side of that piece of tape. I swear,
Oh,
it's
you got
not.
the pen upside
Yeah,
down. Turn it around.
dude, that creek. Now that line's not there. Like that's not really a river. Yeah,
Yeah. No, it's there. It's
but
just dried up.
but it's funny you brought that up about the apps though, because Jordan Brake he films for me a bunch, and I mean we'd have a ball together the last couple of years since he started with me, but he's got on his app he's got pins everywhere we kill, and so like he's got stuff like scattered all across I forgot how many confirmed kills we had together. I mean it's kind of a stupid amount in a couple of years, but like especially turkeys, we've killed more turkeys than a butterball factory. But it's like we like especially like in Georgia and Florida because that's where we always kick off, and then we go to Texas. And so he's like, man, I got to zoom in really tight to move like where see where all these pins are. But yeah, I mean we didn't even think about stuff like that, 5 years ago or so. I mean there wasn't an app for all this stuff. And yeah, I mean, spreadsheet stuff because that's just my comfort zone is to hop in Excel and be able to sort stuff and do averages and all that. But it's crazy though when you really look at if you keep up with data like that, especially I've been doing that since I was a teenager, so that's a good 30 years of data to pull out. I mean, I've actually got I killed my first deer in like 1988. You guys probably weren't born, but
No,
I was,
yeah,
two
good
2 years
job, man.
later.
Oh
2
guys.
years.
I was out there.
Yeah,
What,
that's what
what
I'm
are some,
saying.
what are some of your key data points? Like what do you like? Wind direction, temperature. What are some other things that you key in
Um,
on?
well, really, man, in here, in Georgia where I started with that data, and then I've kind of gone all across the country. It's really about isolating the state and the day. Like
Mm,
literally, I've got
hmm
a day, and I'm not gonna say because I don't want to tell everybody my secrets in Georgia, but I've got a date in Georgia that I've killed more deer on that one day than any other like months on some of them combined. Like it's crazy how when you really look at if you spend the time in the woods, especially in the same area, like when it overlaps, you're like, dude, that is the dates. Which down here where we're at, like weather has 1,000%
Yeah.
effect on what goes on. Like if it's November 23rd, which is usually a good time to be in the woods, and it's hot, it's gonna suck. But
Mm.
if it's November 23rd and it's, the high's like 65 that day, it's going to be crazy.
Oh,
So there's a lot
it's
of
65
variables in there.
November 23rd here. I'm crying.
Well, exactly. But like down here, man, you're loving life, man. Um, because like I hunted Nebraska one year, and dude, it was December and it was like 80 degrees. I'm like, this sucks. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
we've had a
I
couple
did
years
kill a
like that.
deer, but I killed a pretty decent buck. But at the same time, nobody else in camp saw anything. I mean, I just got
Hmm.
lucky. I had the one dumb deer that walked out at the right time. So, but again, I was just letting it happen. Letting the universe and God take over things and just drive me where I.
Yeah,
I
I
got a
sound like a
question on
hippie,
that.
man.
I'm a big believer, and it sounds weird, and people call me crazy, but like, especially those big mature bucks and like the target bucks, that the ones that you're after maybe for multiple years, like sometimes I swear that you have no control over it. They pick the time and the place and the who and the how and when, and you kill them, and it's like, dude, I had nothing to do with that. He just
You,
decided on
you
that day he was going to let me
yeah.
kill him. Like it was in the car
You were there at the right place at the right time.
because he
And
allowed it to happen. Like I
and and
didn't
I
do anything.
and I'll say this: what's crazy about, especially here, like the mature bucks, they're you know how it is. I mean, this is usually uniform all across the country. They're going to be one of the, like, especially except for during the rut when they're stupid and they're just doing dumb stuff. Um, like when you see them 5 yards off the side of the road staring at a doe, and that they don't normally do that except the rut. Like when you hunt one on his terms, like on a food plot or in a hardwoods or just wherever you've got him kind of pinned down to his core area, you're usually going to see the does come in first, or small bucks come in, feed around, whatever, go through. He's going to scope it out, but when he makes his mind to come in, he's just going to walk in like the man. He's not going to just be like on pins and needles, looking around, creeping in. Like when he's the guy and he knows he's coming in, like he's fully committed to it. It's like that
He owns
gobbler.
it.
When he knows he's going to come into the decoys or come into the call, like he just, all right, I'm just go time. And it's funny how that is. A lot of people think that, the big bucks are really, really spooky and all this stuff. They are. They are. But when you get in there and you can get in there in their area and let it relax and be normal, they come in like not a care in the world. A doe will freak out 20 times worse, mature doe, than a mature buck coming in most of the time.
Well, and even when he's walking in, he don't even care. He'll just stomp his way in, and he don't have a care in the world. Like he's the
Right.
biggest boy on the turf. He don't care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a
And that,
question for you, and talking about like letting the universe take it over and whatnot. Like one of the things that I think a lot of people get tied up in, like as us as we'll call it, influencers, right, or guys
yeah.
that have TV shows, whatever.
Yeah.
One of the things I feel, and I got sucked into this hole too, where like you go out to hunt, and it's really all about like getting it on film, and you get lost away from what you're actually out there for. And there's that, like you had that we'll call it the come to God moment, where like it just snaps, and it's like you got to have a good time, and when it happens, it happens. But it
Yeah.
takes a little bit of time before you get there and you realize it, because you do you're so focused on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're enthralled, if you will, in what you do, and you're trying to be successful at what you do. And I get that. I mean, like anything in this outdoor industry is a grind. It's a hustle. I mean, you have. I don't care what anybody says, and even people that look outside, looking in, and think, like Waddell, the juries, Lee and Tiffany, like people that are the names that everybody knows. Um, they still had to work. I mean, it's not like it was just, yeah. Some people had it easier than others, but I've also been in that trench for so long where you've got to work for it, right? And I grew up in a big, sports background, and I was a firm believer, like if I worked hard enough and got my skills to the level, then I could be the guy on the field that got the starting job. That was my mentality. That's why, and coming into hunting industry, I'm like, yeah, if I work hard, we create good video, we kill some deer and some turkeys and have a good time, and we put out a great product, we can compete at the top level. Um, and all this isn't a competition. I mean, it's just putting out a great product and making great relationships with companies, and being able to do what you do. And I learned really quick that you can be the best out there, and if you don't know the right people and make the right relationships, none of it matters. So
Mm-hmm.
nobody's going to just look at you and be like, you're the best ball player on the field because of your talent level. They're just going to look at, okay, what can you do? Like, what can you do for me? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But back to what you were saying, as soon as you just kind of let that be and say, you know what, I'm going to go out there and do the best I can. I'm going to put out the best product I can. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be true to myself and not try to keep up with everybody else, not worry about what everybody else is doing, not try to be the biggest podcast in the world, not try to be the biggest YouTube channel in the world, not try to be the biggest person on TV. You just go out there and have fun, and
Mhm.
that shows in what you do. People will gravitate towards you, and the success will come. The fun will come. And it's not about, I mean, I never in my ever in my life thought anybody would walk up to me and be like, "Man, I watch you all the time. Like I watch you on YouTube, especially YouTube. Like freaking A, I didn't have YouTube growing up, but now like YouTube is legit like one of our best platforms for people to see our content. I love it because I can roll out whatever we want to on there. There's no well, within reason, of course. There are some restrictions, but I just like it when people come up and say, "Man, I watch you all the time. I enjoy what you do. You hunt just like us," and that's what I've always wanted to put out there. Never ever wanted acknowledgement. You know what I mean? I never wanted
Mm-hmm.
anybody to say, "Hey man, will you take a picture with us?" Because that ain't me, bro. Like you hang out with me for 5 minutes, you know, like, "Hey man, I'll go get you a beer." I'm
Right.
not, I'm not. I don't want nothing from nobody. Like I just want to be around good people, have a good time, and honestly, to have some good bourbon from time to time. That's really
Yeah.
all I want in life, man.
Which is
So
pretty simple. It's
exactly.
but
I love hunting camp. Like I love, and it
mm,
ain't even about the hunting. It's just about being at the hunting camp, hanging out, making memories, laughing and cutting up, sitting around a campfire, having a couple beverages, grilling a steak, throwing some backstrap on the grill. Like
So much hot.
that's that. It was that.
It's inside joke.
Oh, I guess. Yeah.
My
Well,
buddy
let's go
Tyler's
outside and talk
listening. I
about
had to throw it in there for him.
it. But yeah, man. I mean, you're right. Though. Over time, you know, you kind of figure these things out. Like you said, you got to kind of learn who you are through this process, what you're good at, and the the humbling thing about this industry is you can go out there and think like you're awesome, but if
Mm.
nobody else likes you, it is what it is, man.
Right.
Like I'm sorry, but I
And
mean that's anything, you know.
not to sound like a hater, but if you sniff that out a mile away, like it's so obvious, and you're only gonna last so long if you want to go with that persona, you know what I mean? So like, you can't go wrong just be yourself. Don't try to be something else or act like something else or act like a bit like you are who you are, and just run with it,
Right.
because that's how you were put on this earth, and that's that's what
I
you
mean,
got.
if you're an egotistical jerk, everybody's gonna figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you guys have been around long enough to like it doesn't like I've always been one where I say this all the time. If we spend 3 days in a hunting camp together, we're either gonna be really good buddies or I'm never gonna talk to you again.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
quick after a hunting camp, like whether you want to hang out with somebody or not. And literally have some of my best friends in this world that I have met through hunting. And just, like being here hanging out with you guys, like I know right now after being on this podcast for 20 minutes or whatever, that like we can hang out.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like we go hang out at hunting camp and have a great
We're
day.
gonna get in
Like it's
trouble. You
just
mean is what we meant to say? We were gonna get in
well,
fucking
I
trouble.
mean, and if any game wardens are watching this, we're going to abide by all the laws. I'm just going to say that out
Yes.
there.
Non-hunting infraction trouble.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna tear
Like
the town up.
we're probably going to sink a John boat. Something fun's going to happen.
It's gonna be
But I'll be honest, man. Like it's crazy. And we just another thing we say all the time. Like this industry is big, but it's really small. And
Mm-hmm.
and you guys know a lot of the same guys I know, and vice versa. And that's what makes it awesome. It's like you know, I'm one of them. Like if you ask me the question, I'm probably going to tell you what I think, good or bad, man. And I get that from my that's just my lineage, man. My grandmother was
Mm-hmm.
that way. My grandfathers were that way. My mom's that way. My dad's kind of that way. Big Mike's more laid back than I am. Um, but with all that being said, um, this industry is like that small. So if you ask me what I think about somebody, I'm like, look, this is my experience. That's what I always go with. And I'll tell you what I think. And I hope people will tell you the same thing about me. But I also try to put myself in that corner where when somebody brings my name up, hopefully, that's what I pray every night is I've done the right thing. I've treated everybody fair. I respond to everybody. I try not to be the guy that is just unapproachable or non-talkative. And I'm not talking about like from a fan standpoint. I'm just talking about from anybody that wants to talk
Right.
about hunting or have questions about what we do or anything, man. Like I've always tried to be. They always say never meet your heroes because you'll be disappointed. Y'all have heard that before.
Oh yeah, I've had it
Um,
happen. No.
and that's my point. Like, not that I need to be anybody's hero. Trust me on this one. Unless you just like to have fun. I mean, then
Right.
we'll be buddies. I don't want to be your hero. I'll be your buddy. But don't just. I've had it happen too, man. I've met people that I thought like, no, this guy's gonna be awesome, and like I was so disappointed. And I just never want to be that guy. I mean, just like coming here with you guys, I don't want you to get off like, man, that guy was a jackass.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Well, it was funny growing up, right? Like, Chris Brackett at the time, Fear No Evil, right? So he had Fear No Evil, and he's tattooed, a little bit wild, a little bit crazy. Guys like us, kind of lad it, kind of we go to that, we gravitate to that, right? So I meet this dude, and I'll be straight up. So I meet him. He's in Harrisburg at the time I had a bow hunting forum. And we were down there. We were working with Wasp Archery at the time, and I'm sitting in the booth, and I'm like, man, I really want to meet Chris. Chris is going to be here this weekend. So I went over there. He was the biggest dingbat I have ever talked to in my entire life. Like, he's trying to cut my beard. He's like just being an asshole to me. And I'm like, that was like my first taste of like, I don't even know if I want to be in this industry. And I'm like 17 years old. And I'm like,
Wow.
I don't know if I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
as the industry feeds itself, you know what happens to the
Cream
people
Oh
rises
that
yeah.
are like that, bro. They come out and they get handled with and dealt with properly in this industry. Like, that's
Yeah.
just the way the industry rolls. I don't
I
mean to bring up
mean,
negativity on your podcast
no,
here.
bro, no. It's reality, man. Like, if I mean, you got to be real. That's the thing. Like, and if you make a mistake, and I think in his he made more than one mistake. Man, he made some big mistakes,
Right.
but I think also, man, you just got to man up and own it and like, hey, you know what? I made a mistake. I got caught up in this. I want to apologize. Like, just own that shit. You know what I mean? Like, just
For sure.
um, that's what I mean in life in general, man. I don't care if it's hunting or work, industry, whatever, man. Like, it could be relationship stuff. It could be stuff with your family, your spouse, girlfriends, whatever. Just like, man, if you mess up, just own it and deal with it, and you'll get so much further, and you'll have so much more peace with stuff instead of trying to be that guy, man. Like, we ain't gonna bring up the stuff that he did, or
Right.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what he
Yeah, me neither.
exactly
Right.
did. We all
Yep.
saw the same stuff, right?
Right.
But at the same time, man, like, to treat people bad and hose over landowners. I mean, and I'm not knocking on Chris. Like, I
Right.
don't. I mean,
Just
I've
people in
met him. We've
general.
crossed paths, but I
Hmm.
don't know him like we like on a personal level at all. So I'm not going to judge any. I'll be the last one to judge anybody on anything. But at the same time, you see what you see that comes forward. But man, like, I couldn't do that. Like, I couldn't. Now there's been a few times like I've had some people like working for me that I was like, man, we fixing to have a bad day. You know what I mean? Like, you're testing me big time right here. But
You should
but
see me
also
together.
right, like look, bro.
No, we should set
Like,
up
I'm
over
not gonna
here.
look. I'm not gonna name any names. Like, I say this in all the stuff like interviews and podcasts. That I don't throw anybody under the bus and name names or stuff. But I did have a camera guy one time. Like, he could not stay awake at all.
Ooh.
And dude, like, I'm talking, it's 30 minutes before dark, crunch time. I got 10 head of doe standing out in front of me. I'm just waiting on, Big Dog to roll in for a bow shot. And dude's over there snoring next to me in a blind. And I was like, dude, if you fall asleep one more time, I'm probably gonna punch you in the face. Like I was that like, dude, you got one job. And it requires staying awake. I even said, like, bro, like, if you got a job at Walmart and you go to sleep at the cash register, are you probably gonna get fired, right? Well, guess what? I'm not gonna fire you today because I need somebody out here helping me. But like, you got to step your guy. I give everybody a chance to succeed or fail. But at the same time, like, my patience is tested. But I'm not gonna go that whole bracket route on somebody
Yeah,
on
yeah.
video, man. Like we all kind of have those moments, and and stuff that we're doing in life. But you know, I,
It,
I,
it's like
it goes
being the
back to like,
boy. Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. No, I was gonna
No,
say
I
just
said.
treat everybody the way you want to be treated. That's simple as that.
I mean, if you're working at Burger King or McDonald's and you got to put cheese on the cheeseburger and you don't put cheese on the cheeseburger, you no longer have a job. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's cut and dry. You're there to
Pretty
film.
much.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, camera
I
guy,
don't think
your
you did the
your
same
job's
burger.
yeah. I mean, there honestly, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. There's some days I just wish that's all I had to do is put cheese on cheeseburgers. Like that would be a great job some days. You know what I mean? Like just yeah. But what y'all gonna do today, man? I'm fixing to get this old Whopper and I'm gonna slap that cheese on top and I'm gonna wrap it up and send it down the line. I'm gonna smile. I ain't gotta worry about nothing.
it, especially in in doing this, right? Like you having a TV show, bro. It's
Yeah.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It don't
Yeah.
end. It don't
It don't
stop.
no.
It
This phone does not cut off, bro.
because you're always on the hustle, you're always on the game, you're always working with people, talking with people, going to shows, doing this, doing that, recording, working, doing reviews out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is always something,
Yeah.
and it never ends, man. And it's a tough grind, and it's not even that, but like your life in general, your personal life takes probably a big time toll. You know what I'm saying? Like we all been there. We've been there where instead of going to drink with your buddies on Friday night, you're going to bed fixing because you got to get up and run trail cameras in the morning and make review videos. Like that's life.
Yeah, and that's I mean it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing that we get to do what we do, and I love it, man. I really do. I love everybody we work with. I love being just like a guest on you guys' podcast, man. I mean, I love doing this stuff. I love talking about it, meeting new people. But what people don't realize, just like you said, I mean, there are days where, hey, man, what are y'all doing this weekend? Man, I'm gone. Or next week, y'all want to go on this trip? Like, and that goes back to what I was thinking about. When you first started saying that, missing out at home, you've got to have an amazing a person at home. Like my wife is awesome. She loves to hunt too, which I'm so thankful for that. She loves deer hunting more than anything. Likes being out there sitting in the stand. Um, but without like how it is, man. Being on the road and you call home and you're getting nut kicked on this hunt, and you just need somebody to be like, "Hey, it's gonna be all right." Just keep good luck tomorrow. You'll get them tomorrow, and it
Mm-hmm.
gets you through a lot of stuff um, that I think mentally you wouldn't normally be able to do. And, for the young guys out there that are, not married and they're like 21, 22 years old, full of piss and vinegar, man, go at it hard. I'm just telling you right now. Because when you settle down, it makes life a lot harder,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have any kids. We've been married over 20 years. And, it just one of the things that just wasn't in the cards, it wasn't a really choice we made. We just got down the road, and me doing what I do, I was like, it wouldn't be fair, to I
Mm-hmm.
would have to make a choice. Not that I would have, had a problem with that, but it just wasn't, I didn't want to leave her at home with a kid while I'm off hunting all the time, and stuff like that. So it's all God's plan, man. And it all works out. But um, just having that, you do when you dedicate yourself to this industry and you really want to make a run at it where you can scratch a few dollars together, go on a few hunts, have a good time. You'll meet great people. Be prepared to not have a lot of money, especially in the beginning, because you're gonna be broke. You're gonna probably be out of pocket money for years, like we were. Um, but man, when it turns that corner, it's pretty cool. Like it's a really a blessing to be able to 20 years doing this.
That's that's a tough haul, man. 20 years is. I mean, there's days that we're 6, 7 years into this, and there's days I wake up and I'm like, why in the world am I still doing this? Like, I want to close this thing down tomorrow. Like, why am I doing this? Like, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then you know what happens, and I think that the big kick in the ass is, bro, you get one text
Mhm.
message or
Yeah.
one dude writes something on your Instagram. We have one dude, I'll tell you right now, Ken. That boy, I'm telling you right now, he shoots a turkey and he's got both of our numbers, and he texted both of us in a group text, man, you should see this gobbler I shot, or this is this buck that I found, or shot, or this is that shed that I found. And that shit just keeps me going. Or we're at a show and he brings us a blueberry muffin, and it's like, yo, I ain't
Right.
nobody, I'm just a normal dude, and I really am. And you just inspired me to keep on going, just as if we, you know what I'm saying, where that revolving
I,
door goes.
I had this conversation with a buddy of mine yesterday because we're talking about doing like more hunting tip stuff because I do have a lot of younger guys now, or even guys that aren't that young that are just getting into hunting, and they don't know a lot, and they're like, man, I just need resources. Like I don't have a mentor, and I mean I've got to be buddies with guys like, man, call me anytime, FaceTime with me. I'll tell you, teach you how to do this or that. But we're talking about doing, hunting tips and maybe teaching a little bit of archery stuff and for new guys and keeping it really simple. Um, and I told him, I said, man, look, at the end of the day, if we roll out a video of, how to anchor when you're on your bow or,
Hmm.
anything, how to find your anchor point or find your draw length, whatever, just simple stuff that you need to know in the beginning. I said, man, I don't care if it gets 1,000 views. If we help 5 people, we've made a difference in the future of bow hunting. For example, turkey hunting, deer hunting, all of it's the same. Like I get questions about planting food plots, man. I'll get questions about equipment we use, what bow we shoot, what broadheads, and that's fine. I mean, I love that stuff. I'm always there to help people trying to be better. Um, but that's what makes it worth it. That somebody will look to you as, hey man, I kind of look up to you. I kind of dig what you're doing, and I want to learn from you because that's again, it goes back to the haters out there, man. Like, use that energy to be positive and make this thing go forward. I mean, my dad had me hunting since I could walk, and without him teaching me, I mean, I learned from my mistakes, but I also got to learn from his mistakes and him telling me what to do and what not to do. And having that mentor out there, whether it's you watching YouTube videos now because you don't have anybody, and maybe you guys and me, we can help those people, or it's literally having a father or grandfather, aunt, uncle, cousin, wife, whatever, I don't care, somebody to help you out. That's invaluable in your learning curve in the outdoors. And like me, like growing up, my dad didn't turkey hunt at all, and I got into it. Just I bought a mouse call one day at a dang trade show when I was probably 15 or 16, and I was like, I don't know, I've never turkey hunted before. Let me see if I can use this thing. So a lot of
Hmm.
people learn on a box call or
Famous
sled
last
call. I
words
learned
right
on a
there,
mouth
buddy.
call. You know what's that?
Famous last words. Let me give this a try.
Yeah, and here we are,
Might as well just
freaking
check into rehab now, buddy. You're done.
yeah, crazier than a sprayed roach on turkey hunting, man. And but like I learned how to call on a mouth call was the first thing I learned.
Hmm.
So I'm like, then everybody's like, well, dude, you took the hardest route possible.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And I mean, they're probably educated half the turkeys in Georgia going, what in the hell is this guy doing? Like, he don't even sound like a turkey. And I learned from so many mistakes, but I learned all that on my own. And actually, I called in the first turkey my dad ever killed. And actually, I think I called in two for him before I ever killed one in my life. I killed one. I called in. My first one I ever called in was for my cousin, and then the next two were for my dad before I ever killed a turkey myself. Um, but I was probably 20, 21 years old, and but trust me, they have paid the price since then. But at the same time, man, like that's what makes it fun. Like that's why I've gotten to the point now. I know I'm rambling off about stuff, but
It's all good. That's
um,
what it's for.
I mean, I've gotten to the point now where I don't even like to hunt by myself anymore. Like, it's not fun to me to hunt like I get bored by myself. I'm sitting there like, okay, if a deer walks out or I got a turkey and I kill it, yeah, I'll have fun doing it. But I don't have anybody to share that with now because I mean we've been videoing so long and having camera guys or whoever, like my dad, my wife, somebody hunting with me. Like I just want to share it with people now. Like I think that's why I like duck hunting so much. Is like we got 5, 10 guys in a duck blind just busting stuff when it flies
Hmm.
over and everybody high fiving after, like that was fun. Um, I love turkey hunting with somebody. Like I can't tell y'all how many doubles we've killed turkey hunting, because, me and my dad have killed a ton together. And some of my real close buddies. I mean, dude, I even had one of my buddies, Chris Cooper, that lives in Tennessee. We were in Texas one year. Dude, we killed four one morning together. Like, just who? I mean, I don't know anybody that's killed four in like 15 minutes. It's like bam, 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 bam. Like, dude, we're shooting doves or turkeys. I mean, but it's fun that way to me. Like, um, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like I love sharing it with somebody and sitting in the blind. And I think the reason is like I get bored pretty easy. That's why I can't read books because I can't stay focused on it. But I'm a visual person, and like so, if we're sitting in a deer stand together, we're not seeing much. Like I got somebody to bullcrap with. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's the fun part to me. So anyway, I know I just went off on
No, no, but
a
going back
way off left field.
on what I was saying before, like just leaving your ego at the door, man, and enjoying
Yeah.
the hunt because like we all get tied up with that camera thing, and I did that myself. Steve, we've done it where like it's all about getting the film and stuff. And I'll tell you what, man, this turkey season after I killed my first turkey 21 years ago with my father in the state of Maine, and we were here and I brought my dad on opening day. I put it all aside. I grabbed the camera and I said, I'm gonna bring you out hunting. He shot it like we call them super jakes. They just get like a 6-inch beard, right? And
Oh
he
yeah.
and he I called this bird in, it's gobbling, he ends up shooting it with his crossbow, and we get down there and he's like, it's only a jaker. And I said, Dad, I don't even think you know the memories that it just made. Like who cares? Like I got it on film. We did it together. Like I was in tears and he's like, why are you crying? I said, you don't even know what this has done to me. Like my ego was left at the door and I'm hunting with my dad. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not about me and what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you get tied up in
Oh
that
yeah.
stuff, and it's,
Well, and that's one thing. Like we've done this for a long time now. Like opening day of turkey season, me and my dad, we always hunt together. The opening weekend, really. And we started hunting opening weekend in Florida and Georgia together now. So it's gotten a lot of carnage.
Love opening
But
weekend.
you know, but with that being said, man, like we have, I'm not bragging. We just we do good in turkey woods, and
mm-hmm.
we've killed tons of turkeys together, and like that's our thing. Like everybody knows, even my buddies, like, hey, it's opening. Never mind, I'm not even going to
No,
ask you to do that. Like I know you and your dad are going to go. I'm like, yep, that's what's going to
me
happen.
and
Me and
dad are
Jeremiah,
going hunting.
we're going to go dust some turkeys, and we have an awesome time doing it. We have, dude, I can't like most. I would say, I'm just throwing a number out there. Out of the last 10 seasons, 8 seasons we've doubled on opening day, something like
Mm.
that, or or or
Wow.
or like he shoots one in the morning, or I shoot one in the morning, then he shoots
Mm-hmm.
one afternoon, I shoot one afternoon. Like opening day, we've killed a bunch of turkeys together, and but that's what it's all about. Going back
Mm-hmm.
to hunting, man, like sharing that with somebody that you want to be out there with, dad, brother, best friend, wife. I don't care if you take your dog hunting with you. Like have fun with somebody, just
Right.
enjoy it out there. But what you're talking about with your dad, I mean, that's so awesome to go out there and do that. And like you said, like it'll never, nobody will ever understand how much that means to you except you.
Right. Yeah, and
Nobody will ever get it.
we get tied up, and I tell this story a couple of times, and Steve's probably sick and tired of hearing it. But this year, November 7th, I was chasing a big buck. I had missed him, whatever, and a couple of days prior, and I'm hunting this big buck. I had already seen him at like 50 yards. I'm like, he's gonna circle around. My dad calls me or texts me. He's like, two down, and I'm like. I text him back. I go, Dad, it's November 7th. There's a 15-degree change in the temperature. I'm not getting out of my deer stand to help you drag deer. And I was doing an interview with the camera, and I started to tell the story, and I got emotional, and I'm like, "What in the fuck am I doing in this deer stand?" I says, I just closed the camera, packed it all up. I got down, called my dad. I'm on my way. Where are you at? Because there's a November 7th out there that I'm gonna want my dad to call me, and he's not gonna
Yeah,
be able to.
yeah.
And you can't forget about that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just those days are gonna come, and he's mentored me and been my role model for such a long time, just like your father, just like Steve's father. And you try to spend that time with them, and it's a blessing. So now we have to try and share what
Mm.
we honed as our skills to teach them and learn. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't
Hmm.
have that. Like the people that contact us every day, and they try and talk to us, they don't have that role model. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
that, and
Well,
it's crazy.
tonight's a perfect example. We were scheduled the podcast at 7:00 tonight. I didn't get home till 7:01 because my dad was broke down on the side of the road, and I called Kevin. I was like, "Listen, stall a little bit, see if Mike will wait for me to get there." Because it must be his alternator, man. I had to jump his car 4 times just to get it home. But
Oh wow.
what are you gonna tell Dad? Oh, Dad, sorry, I can't help you. I got a podcast tonight.
Yeah, sorry, Dad. And he's
You
like,
know,
a what? A what? A pod?
all he
What?
said is, I'm on my way. You know, what I mean?
That's
Because
what
I
you
know
do,
damn
man.
well, if that was
Yeah.
me broke down on the side of the road, he'd be on his way.
That's
That's right. That's right. And that just, I mean, that just shows you guys both are raised right. I mean, that's just, what it boils down to. And that was put in you well before you even knew about it. That you're gonna love the outdoors. You're gonna help your family, do the right things, and that's the thing. Like, there's actually a video on our YouTube channel, and it's about our family farm. And Jordan was with me, and he shot it and filmed it opening weekend of turkey season this past year. And he's doing these like interviews, and he's asking me questions. I just remember one thing that stuck out to me. He said, "Are we gonna kill a turkey in the morning?" And I really didn't. I don't want to be the guy that's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna kill a turkey," because I don't want to jinx it. Um, and I said, "Good Lord willing, we're gonna be in a turkey rich environment." And I said, "If Big Mike can kill one, I don't care if I ever kill another one." And I meant it. Like
Right.
dude, I've killed more turkeys than I ever thought I would. I've killed more deer, more big deer too than I ever thought I would. I tell her this all the time. If I can help somebody else that's close to me be successful, and I don't kill another one ever, I won't like it because that just ain't me. But I'll be all right.
I'll be all right.
I'll be all right. Um, because that's what it's about, man. Like in the beginning, yes, it was all about you know trying to be successful myself, gripping grins, getting video. Then social media comes along. It's all about, everybody says, "Oh, you got to take a picture for the gram." I mean, you're trying to put yourself out there and raise your stock value. Man, I'm just about creating a great product now that people will enjoy. And if that's me sitting in a turkey blind and my dad shooting a turkey, that's fine. I sit in a deer blind, my wife killing one, that's fine. Sitting with one of you guys, y'all shooting something with me there to hang out, that's fine. Like it's just about the fun to me now. Like I don't care about me at all. Like yeah, I know my moments are gonna come. Like I'm gonna get my shots and I'm gonna make them count. Just because that I mean I know that's this is what I do, but at the end of the day, it ain't all about me no more, man. It's about having fun. And like I said, I just love the hunting camp. Like now, like a lot of the hunts I go on, my buddies go with me. Like we could do these. Like we got a big mule deer hunt that we go on every year in Texas, and there's like 5 or 6 of us that go, and I don't even care if I kill a deer. Like I'll shoot the smallest one that walks out. I don't care. I just there to have fun. I'll punch my tag on a freaking 140 and everybody else kill 180s. I don't give a crap, man. I've killed I killed actually my first booner mule deer this past fall. Um so I checked that off the list. Now what? You know what I mean?
That what right.
Yeah, like I'm here for the ride, man. It's a fun ride when you can not have that pressure on you. Don't put that pressure on you and just sit back and let it happen and have fun and watch your buddies be successful and your family. And I mean, yeah, I mean, seriously, like I'd rather y'all come down here like, hey man, I'll come put y'all in a deer stand, take your bow, you shoot a deer you want to mount, shoot it, shoot a couple does, have a good time. Like I'll be back here cooking ribs.
Yeah. But it's crazy because it seems as if, going back on it, like the industry has kind of made us all like that. And now it's like we have to kind of weed through that crap because we need to now enjoy it with the ones that we, like everybody, like the camaraderie. What was it? When we were young kids, what did we do? We were doing deer drives, we were shooting rabbits, we were killing squirrels. Like that
Yeah,
was
man,
life,
squirrel. Yeah,
Just like, who
yeah.
cares? You know what I'm saying? I'll shoot your house cat if you let me. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't care. We just having fun as kids.
I plead the fifth on that.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, plead the fifth.
I'm just saying.
I don't like cats. I'm sorry.
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant it. It's a metaphor,
Look,
but you brought
again,
it
I
there.
don't I don't judge anybody. We all have a past, okay? I would not do that again.
I love it. I
Stuff
love
happens.
it, man. Yeah. If
I'm gonna get so many hate
it's
messages.
all right.
Oh my God, you killed a cat. Well, I didn't actually see him die. I may have missed him. I don't know. So
They don't understand what a barn cat is, right? That's all it is.
yeah,
Feral. They're feral. They're
so
feral.
look, if you've got an inside cat, your buddy's got an inside cat, and an outside cat's whipping his ass, what are you gonna do?
You're
You
gonna
gonna stand up for your buddy's cat, or you just gonna let him take one? You know what I mean?
you're gonna
That
no,
cat might kill him.
right.
That cat could have had rabies.
But what if it was a dog? If it was a dog, it'd be a different story, right? What does it matter?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have shot a dog.
All right, enough is enough.
Anyway,
We're incriminating
y'all,
ourselves. At
like
point. No, I'm
this.
just
This
kidding.
is a fictional story.
This
Okay,
is.
Yeah.
it's not real.
Hypothetical.
Just throwing that out there. Not real.
Hypothetical.
I made that up just for the sake of this podcast. Y'all, calm down. Okay. I love animals. Okay, especially the ones I eat next to potatoes and gravy. So.
Oh, well, that just took a turn. It's all good.
Hey man,
It's all good.
you know, how about yeah, let's talk about something else.
We normally.
I have a funny story that I wanted to bring up earlier. We were talking because we haven't told the story on the podcast before, and we were talking earlier about you know, if he comes in gobbling like a man, he's gonna die like a man. Mm-hmm. So me and Trevor hunting the last day of Rhode Island season. It was the last day of the season. I killed one in the morning. We're trying to punch Trev's tag, and season closes at 1:00, and we are grinding. Like, we are gonna punch this tag before the end of the day. And we go to the last spot we hit. We're deep. We're like kind of at the end of the property. Like we don't really have anywhere else to go. We're out of options. So I said, hey, let's just sit here for a minute. What are we gonna do? Listen. So I hear a yelp. I'm like, yeah, that's a hen yelping, right? So let's call this hen in. You never know. Like, nothing's gobbling, but we might drag one in, you know. And she's yapping up, and Trev's calling to her, and he's calling to her, and she's coming, and all of a sudden you hear that Jake gobble. And I'm like, oh, have mercy on this Jake, because Chet is going to roll this. There is 15 minutes left in the season, and this boy is going to roll this Jake right now, right? So yeah, I think we heard one more gobble, and here's the hen. She pops out. She jumps up on the rock. Oh, man, he's right behind her. Here he comes. She jumps off the rock. She's at like 15 yards right in front of us, and she freaking gobbles. It was a gobbling hen. And he turns and looks at me. He's like, do you see a beard? And I'm like, I'm telling you, if that hen had a hair, he was going to shoot that.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yep. And she walked off. She gobbled one more time. We got the whole thing on film or whatever. And I'm like, thank God she didn't have a whisper on her chest.
I want to see that.
You would have rolled that hen, boy.
I want to see that video so bad, dude. Like that. I've never seen that.
So that's the second time that I've seen that out of a turkey. Honestly, I didn't believe it the first time, and it was in the fall. I had a whole flock of them come in, and there was 2 or 3 of them strutting, and I'm like, what in the world is that? And I'm like, oh, that's a turkey. And they start coming towards me, and they were hens, and they were kind of like just getting territorial around each other, and one of them goes, and I'm like, wow. What? No way, dude. And when this one did it 15 feet from us, and I'm like, that was
crazy.
She identified.
I've had hens come in like and strut around the decoys and beat up the decoys and like full fanned out like a gobbler. And I mean, but I've never heard one gobble. That's awesome, dude. Like that's like I want to share that video. Like, let's roll it out. Like that would be awesome to see, especially. I mean, I don't know anybody that's ever seen that.
Yeah, so I got a hold of a couple of buddies of mine. One of them's actually a turkey biologist, and I was like, hey, what's the deal with this? And he's like, probably 1 in 1,000, especially to get it on film. He said it's incredible. He goes, I have one video of them gobbling. He goes, but I'll share it with you so you can see it. It's cool. It's cool to see her come in and she gobbles. Yeah. Dude, the first time she let out the air, I think she just had it all stored in her. She was wicked loud. It was like, I was like,
we couldn't see her yet. So as she's coming in the first, I'm like, you swear to God, that's a Jake. That's a Jake gobble. Yeah. The second 2 were a little bit weaker, but man, I thought she was gonna roll that Jake.
Is that one in Pride Month turkeys?
Yeah.
I mean, LGBTQ plus minus squared turkeys, right?
Yeah.
She's got her pronouns confused. That's for sure.
Yeah, she. Well, can we say she? I don't even know. Can we use pronouns in turkeys now? Them, that, they, whatever.
They
I
have
don't
to
know.
they. I'm
It.
not really sure how it goes.
I don't
Well,
know. Maybe
they
it's
have to.
maybe it's a he, she, it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or
it has to
shit. I don't know.
identify on its own.
The shit.
We can't identify for it. It's got to identify on its own.
It definitely identified as a gobbler.
Yeah.
I think you should have shot it. I mean, it was identifying as a gobbler.
We had physical evidence that it was definitely identifying.
Thank you. And so I'd show that to the game warden and be like, yeah, look, it gobbled, therefore it is a gobbler.
It
Period.
came in like a man and it got treated like one.
Just
That's
it
what
was,
Exactly.
it was post-op. She had her beard removed.
yeah.
That's what it was. It was one of them transitional turkeys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what it was.
It was just crazy. It was crazy.
That's
Craziest thing
wild,
ever,
though.
man.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
like here in Georgia, like we have bearded hens that have, I mean, ropes on them.
Yeah.
Like on trail camera, I've got one that I mean, it's a 10-inch thick ass beard. Like
Really?
I'm just going like, what? Wait, nope, that's a hen. And I mean, just a freaking. I'm like, why can we not shoot? They're not legal to shoot in Georgia.
You
Oh,
cannot shoot them in Georgia.
Cannot
So
shoot them in Georgia.
the way it's written in Connecticut is bearded. So
Yep.
bearded hen
Yeah.
you can shoot legally.
Yeah, Georgia has to be a male turkey.
Male.
Yeah.
See, that's
I shot one 4, 5, 6 years ago on film. She had a 9.5-inch beard on her, and I started doing research on it. And they say that they don't really get that big. I mean, they're straggly. This one's got a pretty big beard on it, actually, probably the biggest I've ever seen. And it was. They say that they don't get very long, and very like. This one does.
Yeah.
This one got. You would think it.
I'll tell you what. I got one on trail camera right now. It is. I'm like, I show it to my buddies and they're like, "Damn, that's a big good gobbler." I'm like, "That's a hen." They're like, "What?"
Really?
I mean, a freaking one like. I had to tell people like, hey, if you go hunting on this piece of property in this area, be careful because you just see going through the woods, you'll see a beard and you'll shoot it and it's gonna be a hen. Like it's a big one, dude.
That's wild.
Because most of them have little pencils, 6-inch pencil beards.
Mhm.
This one is like 10 inches, like 2,
Hey.
3 fingers. Like
if she starts gobbling, she's really gonna test your patience.
I plead the fifth if she goes. Set.
Just get it on film, and there's evidence.
No.
Be fighting with the cameraman over that one.
No. I'm like, hey, bro, give me 5 right here. Give me 5.
Taking that.
Taking that.
Hey, man, is that a deer over there? Oh,
You need some B-roll.
yeah. Turn every look, man. Let me hold that battery in your camera right quick.
Yeah.
Nah. Honestly, I've been in states like Florida is one. I think Nebraska too. Like you can shoot bearded hens, and I've had them out there. I just it just don't excite me, man. I'm all about the gobble. Well, not in your case the gobble, but like the I want to see them put on a show. I get hate from people from hunting over decoys sometimes. Not all the time, but I love watching them beat the crap out of a decoy. And
I agree.
It gets me excited, man, because we've made that happen. Like I've called that bird in to at least where he sees the decoys, or set up in the right spot to have him come in and see the decoys. Hell, I earned the right to watch the show and reap the benefits. So,
yeah, and that was so. I had the one I ended up shooting is I wanted one to mount with another tom turkey, right? So I had seen him on my farm. We had gone in there, hunted that bird, couldn't make it happen. I go on some public land down the road, and I'm in there calling, and I start cutting in there, and I'm waiting for a gobble to come back, and I just hear cut. And I'm like, oh, let's just sit down. We'll get some good B-roll. We'll call this thing right in. So she starts coming on in. She gets to about 15 yards, and I'm sitting next to my buddy, and he's like, don't do it. And I'm like, what? You see the beard on her? And I'm like, there's a beard on her? He's like, no, there's no beard. I'm like, there's a beard. I see the beard. It had a beard on it. I ended up shooting it, but she come in cutting at me. She put on a show. It was actually pretty impressive. But nothing like a gobbler beating up a decoy. But
I mean, I've had some awesome hunts, and literally, like you said, calling hens in. getting them fired up, and just I like giving it back to them. I just try to talk nasty right back to them, and I mean I've killed gobblers that way because they follow the hens in, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But gobbler ain't made a sound, like just
Mm-hmm.
dead silent. Come in, either most time they strutting with a hen, not gobbling, and the hen gets them killed. And that's fun to me too, because I mean you still did your thing, man. You still had to work that hen in. So
No,
yeah, I
absolutely.
mean I don't know. I just love it all, man. It's just a lot of fun. Just out there doing it all.
Mike, I'm going to give you one last question before we cut this thing loose. We've been going at it
Yeah.
for a little bit. I know you want to get out of the heat, go take another shower. We kind of got you worked up over there. But we
Uh,
want to know, Michael Lee, what drives you outdoors?
what's that?
What drives you outdoors? Not a truck.
A side by side.
Yeah.
No. Man, really, I just like being out there doing it all. Like, it's not like we've talked about through this podcast. It's not about pulling the trigger as much as I really enjoy being out there doing the work, filling feeders, planting food plots, um, hanging out with my buddies, taking people, sitting in the stand with people. I mean, that's really why I love the outdoors, is just getting out there and being outside, running trail cameras, like seeing what you can do with that little piece of dirt you got. I mean, I don't care if you've got 25 acres or 25,000 acres. If you're out there just having a good time, enjoying God's creation, doing the best you can do with whatever you got, that's what drives me out there. I mean, like today, I rode around with my buddy Rick, that we got some land right here together, and my dad. We went around, we filled up some feeders, and Rick texted me after when he left a while ago before I hopped on here. He's like, "Man, I love that stuff. Like, I just love going around talking about the woods, like making plans for the next food plots or stands, and filling up feeders and being out there. And it ain't even about killing stuff. I mean, it is in totality, but that's I love that much as I do the
Mm.
hunting part.
That's so true.
The
It's
process.
we talked about it the whole entire podcast. Honestly, what really drives us all out there?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
don't know,
That's
it's a
what.
tricky question.
No, it's all like but man, that's I think like the three of us have that common passion, man. Like everything, we've said, I think we all share and overlap. Being out there with other people and having fun ourselves and just reaping the benefits of what we're blessed to be able to do, and
Absolutely.
that's what makes it fun.
Well, why don't you tell everybody where they can kind of follow along what you got going on, watch your TV show and YouTube and so on and so forth.
Yeah, just I mean, you hop on Google and type in Backwoods Life, you're gonna see my beautiful face and Kevin, and we're YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if there's a social media platform, we're on it.
I
We're on
found a
Sportsman.
LinkedIn account of yours. I mean,
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah,
OnlyFans.
I got OnlyFans. Only actually I got only not fans. I mean, I got all of it. So, um, but the OnlyFans costs you a little bit. Like it's like 99 cents a month. So I mean,
oh, that's not bad. That's not
yeah.
bad. It's only a
Nah, I
coffee.
mean, yeah, you pay per inch, but it's cool. Um, but no, I do not have an OnlyFans. Let me clear that up real quick. But yeah, I mean, just we're out there all over the place, and we're on Sportsman Channel Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern time. You can watch us there every Tuesday night throughout the year. If you're up in Canada and you watch this for some reason, we're on Sportsman Channel Canada. We're on Hunt Channel, on your apps on TV. We're all over the place. Just freaking find Backwoods Life and hit play. That's all there is to it. Watch our
It's,
stuff.
well, we'll leave you right there. Go and check out Michael Lee with Backwoods Life. And for everybody else, thanks for taking the ride right here on the Outdoor Drive.